SPE is here for you in good times and bad. Everything we do is geared towards helping our members succeed, and in difficult times like these, it's even more important to be a part of the global community of technical professionals in the oil and gas industry. I first joined SPE as a student in the 1970s, and the body of knowledge and the opportunities to network with other engineers were absolutely essential to me, especially as a young engineer. We continue to focus on our mission, but we're doing it differently now. We're doing it virtually with online conferences, webinars, SPE live programming, and other online programs. And for members who've been affected by the current downturn, there really isn't a better time to leverage your SPE membership. We have a number of programs for members in transition, both at the local and the international levels. A number of sections have some really great programs. We have an online job board. We have an SPE Connect community for members in transition. We want to do everything we can to help our members through this difficult period. Last but not least, I really do want to emphasize that we are here for you. We want to do everything that we can to help you navigate the rough waters of COVID-19 and the current industry downturn.
Welcome to SPE Live, sponsored in part by the SPE Foundation. My name is Nils Korgesson-Loe. It is my great pleasure to be your host for today for this special edition, SPE Here For You. We'll be joined momentarily by 2021 SPE President Tom Vlasingame. That live conversation will be followed by insights and input from a variety of guests, from oil and gas leaders to students all across the globe, spanning different technical disciplines and levels within their careers. Yesterday was the final day of the ATCE virtual conference. But if you missed that live conference, content will remain available on demand for 90 days. So check it out at atce.org. Here's just a sample from one of our special sessions this week, an inspiring comment by General Chairperson and Chevron VP, Brad Middleton.
I would encourage you to remember that we work for a noble profession that really fuels human progress and is very much important to our world's economy and people's standards of living. And I would encourage you to look to the future with optimism and confidence.
It is now my honor to introduce today's live guest, 2021 SPE President Tom Vlasingame. A professor of petroleum engineering, Tom is also an honorary member of the Society of Petroleum Engineers and the recipient of both the De Gloria Distinguished Service Medal and the Anthony F. Lucas Gold Medal. Today, he will share some of his observations for the road ahead for SPE. Please join me in welcoming Tom Vlasingame. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nils.
So ATCE, it's been a long week for ATCE. What for you have been some of the highlights from ATCE this week? In terms of engagement with the audience, student awards, startup village, member Monday, some really great highlights, I guess.
Well, I was thinking, I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep. We have been really busy. I guess starting chronologically, we had the student awards on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. I think the students had a really good time. There's an enormous amount of energy out there for this discipline, for this industry, and they really re-energize you if you'll let them. Of course, we had Member Monday on Monday, and that was excellent as well. I will share that I was a little nervous about, what it would be like to be a relatively small group, but we had a great time. There were a lot of people from the area that came. There were, of course, the award recipients. The execution of the program was flawless, minus, a few flubs from your incoming president. I really think that that was a good idea. It was good to have something in person. Of course, it was all socially distanced, and we were all bathed in disinfectant and constantly, taking care of ourselves and that sort of thing, which we will be doing for a long time, I suppose. I also did a session on Tuesday, which was career advice, and we had a fantastic panel. It was myself, Karen Olson, and Janine Judah, and then Maria Angela Capella. But it was an extremely busy week, and just felt like, I've been in a rock tumbler in some ways, it's really busy and a lot of fun,
During ATCE, there was a really great panel session that you introduced on the grand challenges facing the industry. So looking ahead, what are your thoughts around those kind of grand challenges that we face, the energy transition, public's perception of our industry, and how we can better collaborate outside of our industry? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll start by saying this, that I really did not plan for this to be on my to-do list, but really and truly, this is something that we're going to have to deal with. And the sooner we deal with it, the better. I've mentioned in public and in private that, we tried to, Steve Holditch and I had not really competing visions, but a mutual vision of what a collaborative energy transition would look like. We worked on this independently about 20 years ago, and it really didn't have any traction. But now, people are suddenly realizing that this is not an option. This is a reality. There's a lot of buzz right now about geothermal. And let's be honest, geothermal is a very mature industry. There is a lot of geothermal resource in the world. Other things that are going to be big around the world, eventually it'll be unconventionals. Right now it's economically challenged, but it's been technically demonstrated. For me, it's the most impressive evolution of technology in our history, that we went from essentially zero to an enormous production base in a really short period of time, which tells me that technically feasible. We just have to make sure the economics are right.
Absolutely. I think those are powerful messages for people to take away and to remember that we still have a role as an industry in this world for many decades to come, I guess. So,
well, and to close, think about it this way. Anyone that looks at oil and gas and says we're one-dimensional either doesn't know us or isn't paying attention to the things we're doing, because we literally have a connection to everything from power generation to medicine to clothing to food production to, there's almost nothing that I can think of. And I'm not I don't have this chart in my head like, you see on the social media, but we are everywhere as a commodity and as a produced product. It's just sad that people see us only as a fuel.
Tom, it's been great talking to you. Thank you very much for your insight and your thoughts and sharing that with us today. So thank you very much.
Always a pleasure, Nils. Look forward to our next time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, have a great day. So ATCE, one of SPE's bigger events held annually, but whether virtual or in person, the SPE are holding a vast variety of events globally year-round. We'd like to know from you, our audience, what SPE events you plan on attending. Tell us in the comments. We really want to know. So thank you. Please share your thoughts. Meanwhile, whilst you're sharing your thoughts, Completion's Technical Director, Terry Palish, shares how SPE events make a worldwide impact.
We are all about disseminating information, and the information we disseminate is typically cutting edge, and it addresses not just today's needs. We have our workshops, we have our conferences, like we just got done with ATCE, that we're dealing with what's important to us today and perhaps tomorrow. But we also have our summits and our forums where we're dealing with the things that are going to be happening years from now. Today's topics were once yesterday's forums. And I think that, as a society, as practitioners in our industry, as members of our societies, it's important that we participate, not just by attending these events, but also by writing papers, being presenters, and engaging in conversations with your colleagues, because by doing so, it allows us to push the technology envelopes in our industry. It allows us to get the best practices, and in general, it helps us not just in our own countries and our own regions. It helps us push these technologies and these cutting edge experiences that we have across the entire globe. So I think that our events, SPE's events in this year and in the coming years, whether they're virtual or whether they're in person, are going to be critical to the success and to the future existence of our profession.
Yeah, thanks there, Terry. So that was Terry talking about the SPE events, the here, the now, and the tomorrow, and how they help our industry. So just on the screen here, you can see, just as an example, this is the calendar view of what's coming up in the next couple of weeks in November for SPE events. There's a mix of conferences, forums, workshops, everything from OTC Asia to ADIPEC and the Artificial Lift Conference. So some really good stuff coming up, a lot of really good technical content, views of industry and where we are in the current market and the situation with COVID. So for a complete customizable list, visit spe.org/events, and you can pick out what you want to see in the coming year in terms of SPE events globally. Events are just one of many ways SPE can help you grow in your career. Staying up to date with the latest technology trends and news is also important. Headlined, of course, by SPE's flagship publication, the Journal of Petroleum Technology. Let's look at the top trending articles right now. Some really good stuff, actually, starting with a difficult but interesting question. Will investors be treating oil companies as fossils? So a really good question there. So some excellent points there. Energy transition is the here and now for our industry. So, and, related to that, other top articles within JPT include ConocoPhillips sharing its plans, including a net zero ambition after acquiring Concha Resources in a $9.7 billion deal. The move instantly makes ConocoPhillips a huge player in the Permian and North America operations. So read that article, check it out. Some really good stuff in there. There's also a feature on 2020 Startup Village winner Flight, the developer of a laser technology that can make just about any type of surface either attract or repel water and oil. We'll take a closer look at that shortly in the program. So, it has great implications for EOR and other related technologies in oil and gas extraction. For more insights to what you can learn from SPE digital magazines, we welcome Trent Jacobs, one of the SPE Live hosts and digital editor for the JPT. Trent.
Thanks, Niels, and thank you to all the SPE members who read and contribute to JPT. I also want to give a quick shout out to our other publications, Oil and Gas Facilities, The Way Ahead, HSE Now, and our newest edition, Data Science and Digital Engineering. These are all really great online publications, and we're really proud to say that we've seen strong user growth and engagement across all of those platforms in recent years. In case you didn't know, the time has come for us to hit the pause button on printing JPT, though, due to the impacts of COVID-19. We know that many SPE members still enjoy the print format, though, so we've introduced a new digital version of JPT that offers that time-honored page-by-page experience. And as many of you do know, all of that same content and more is available on the JPT website, which is updated regularly to bring you the latest technology and business trends that are really reshaping our business. But perhaps the thing I'm most proud of is that year after year, you, the SPE member, ranks JPT as your top member benefit. We consider that an honor. It sets the bar for us, and it's what motivates us to give you what no other publication in the industry does, which is in-depth technical reporting on the industry's biggest challenges and the innovative ways that you, the engineers, are overcoming them. JPT is a magazine that reflects your ingenuity. It embodies the SPE mission to be an unrivaled pillar of knowledge sharing in this business, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you, everyone, and back to you, Niels.
Thanks, Trent. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, really, JPT, one of my favorite magazines. Coming up, a worldview from industry leaders discussing their views of the future and what is needed to thrive. But first, it's that time of year again. Time to review your membership to SPE. The SPE is a global non-for-profit membership organization. Dues contribute to some of the benefits our members receive. So be on the lookout for your renewal notice. It's coming in the email, so take a check your email folders, look out for that. Really important that you renew your membership this year.
The importance of personal development cannot be overstated. It is the bridge that carries you towards the goals that you have yet to reach. SPE is the predominant place for personal development in the oil and gas industry. And it is so important, whether you are renewing your membership, you're a new member, that SPE membership is key to career success in the oil and gas industry. And there is no investment better for yourself than the investment in yourself and with an SPE membership. So don't let your membership lapse. Renew today. Again, it's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your successful career.
Thanks, Shauna. That's a really powerful message to get across to everybody. Shauna Noonan, everybody, 2020 SPE President. And just a reminder there that unpaid members as of 1st of January 2021 will lose membership privileges, so which includes access to JPT, as Trent was just talking about, One Petro, industry events, discounted workshops and textbooks, and also a bunch of really good webinars and e-learnings that, you know, if you want to renew and improve your career, that's really important. So please think about your renewing your membership dues. Very important for you as a professional and as for your career development. Now, the downturn has affected many of you, so you know we understand that. So please see if you qualify for a dues waiver in case that you know you are in that position. So details are on our website, so please check that out. Important information there. So check it out on spe.org, the dues waivers. Now, we reached that moment in the program where we welcome some of SPE's regional and technical directors. So we ponder on the outlook within our industry, and we're going to ask them for their outlook now on their areas and their of expertise and their technical disciplines. David Reed, let's begin with you and drilling.
A lot of exciting things going on in our space. We're, like everyone, we're in the digital world. There's a lot of automation, a lot of interesting areas there that continue to advance, and all of our parts of the discipline have been quite active throughout ATCE. And so, as we go into next year, there's going to be continuing ways to engage with us. We obviously have our technical sections. So we have the drilling uncertainty prediction technical section. We're looking at artificial intelligence tied into how our systems connect and operate. Then we have the drilling automation technical section. And so they're working on the automation part, connecting the machines and the tools and the processes together. And then we have the wellbore positioning group. And so all of those three technical sections are a very exciting way to engage in our discipline, as well as our drilling conference that will be coming up in March. So there's a lot of things to do when it comes to our discipline of drilling. So I'd just like to invite you to get involved and be engaged as part of that.
This year, the conference has gone virtual due to the pandemic, but nevertheless extremely interesting, with some great technical sessions and special sessions. In particular, I was inspired by some of the topics that were discussed and that I believe could represent the outlook for our discipline. In my opinion, the outlook of HSA sustainability shall focus on three main areas: human factor, that is the driving force in HSE and sustainability evolution, the digital technology that has the possibility to make our discipline smarter, and last but not least, the safety leadership. And in particular, I'm referring to care, compassion, trust, and learning, that are the characteristics that every safety leader of the present and of the future should have.
Anna Maria, David, thank you for some great sort of inputs there from the technical disciplines. Let's turn now to the regions. So regionally, we have region directors within SPE. Let's start with a new member to the board in 2020, Deb Bryan. Deb, welcome.
Thanks, everyone. What a wonderful conference that we've been able to all participate in this week with ATCE virtually. Being here in Denver as one of your North American regional directors, I'm really disappointed that we couldn't welcome you to Denver, but I've had such a fun time interacting with everybody online this week throughout the event. For me, one of the big takeaways has really been the discussion of energy transition and all the different meanings of what that means to different people. For Shauna, it's her clean energy transition discussion. Daniel Jurgen talked about the energy evolution back on Monday. And Tom essentially kind of did a bit of a call to action for us all for both the future of petroleum engineering and for what that means for us individually and all our different technical disciplines and stuff like that. This week, there's been so many fantastic panels and papers kind of addressing a lot of those transition aspects of the future of petroleum engineering and what that's going to look like for all of us and how we're going to transition our jobs and our skill sets. And then also the transition to clean energy from a producing point of view and also to things like hydrogen and some of those other aspects. Here in North America, that transition's starting and we're going to start seeing it being a lot more prominent within companies, both from their reporting point of views and for our social license to operate in different parts of the country. As we're seeing a lot of the consolidation that's also starting to take place with the unconventionals here in the US, it's going to be something that I know impacts a lot of people. And so all of these new technologies and transitions are going to be really interesting for us as petroleum engineers as we look to the future and what that means.
Hello, everyone. The MENA region has been a reliable supplier of energy for decades to the world, initially with oil and then with natural gas. And it also has ample oil and gas reserves at a competitive cost to meet future demand in all energy scenarios. On the good news also for the MENA region, 2 large-scale CO2 capture and reinjection projects have been developed at around 1 million tons per annum each, one in Saudi Arabia and one in UAE. Recently, Saudi Arabia has made the first shipment of blue hydrogen through ammonia to the Far East. Also, UAE has developed safely a large-scale nuclear facility in Barak in UAE, which should be fully operational soon, which would be a first in the region. So looking forward to the future, the region contribution to the energy transition is manifold. First one is continued development of oil and gas resources with low greenhouse gas emission footprint and integrated downstream plants. Second one is expansion with carbon capture, utilization, and storage to become the second largest region for CCUS. Obviously, the expansion of solar photovoltaic for electricity generation, the development of green and blue hydrogen, expansion of digitalization in energy production and use, energy efficiency in buildings, transportation, industry, and water desalination, and last but not least, reusing and recycling to be part of the global carbon circular economy. Thank you.
I think Asia is the region to watch and be interested in. It's where there is a long mega trend going on of increasing population and increasing prosperity, increasing demand. I mean, absolutely, it's been hammered by this year during the COVID crisis and the lockdowns and the reduction in prices. but we have to be optimistic that demand for energy will resume. We have every reason to believe that. And on top of that, we're seeing a hastening of the interest in the low carbon fuels like gas, with China announcing by 2060 it will become carbon neutral. So we're expecting to see more fuel substitution with gas taking the place of coal. And we hope and we expect that the normal economy and economic activity will resume towards the end of next year. And lastly, Woodside has made it clear that it's going to take final investment decision in the second half of next year for the world-class Scarborough and Pluto 2 LNG development, which is very exciting. And I think we can expect to see a resumption of the long trend towards LNG exports into Asia resume.
Yeah, thanks. Some great insights there from our regional directors. It really demonstrates the global span and knowledge our region directors and technical directors provide to the SPE and to the membership in general. So for further details, be sure to catch the on-demand conversations of our SPE Live Directors series. So great content there, so please check it out. We'll continue the series through much of 2021, as well as the continued discussions timely and relevant to you in other technical subjects. Fantastic. SPE is there for you in all steps of your career. You know, in addition to everything about your career and career development, Petroleum, which has been an important part of the student career progression within the student body, you know, they hold the championships in November. There's another big competition for students in addition to the Petroleum, which is the student paper contest. Overall, this year, we'd like to thank all of this year's participants, some really fantastic entrants and high quality content. So thank you very much to all of you. Big applause to you. Jose Luis Hernandez Maya, he's joining us now to discuss his first place paper, Application of Artificial Neural Networks for Rapid Flash Calculations.
So my paper is about how we can speed up compositional reservoir simulations by combining physics-based algorithms with data-driven models. In this case, we use artificial neural networks to speed up the slowest portion of the flash algorithm in compositional reservoir simulations. I think that the biggest takeaway from this contest is that it helped me to improve my technical and also how I deliver technical information to an audience. I think that was a great challenge. I think students should participate in this contest because it's a great opportunity to showcase your research. And it's also a very good experience for your professional development. I feel that this experience is something that I will remember forever. Thank you.
Oh, great. Speaking of winners, also, ATCE's 2020 Startup Village competition has handed out their accolades. Flight Material Sciences, based in Canada, won Best in Show with a unique technology that makes most surfaces either attract or repel water and oil. Take a look at this technology in action. Pretty amazing stuff. So, for their top billing, Flight is awarded $25,000 among other prizes. JPT has a feature article on the technology if you want to learn more. And here's a look at other award winners from this year's competition. The People's Choice goes to Vibe Communication, and 3 companies were named Rising Stars. Now, we want to take a moment to recognize this year's recipient of the Goya, a Distinguished Service Medal, Anil Ambathatha from Chevron. He was nominated by Anuj Gupta. Anil was selected for this award for his decades of service to the society.
This award is a very meaningful and gratifying industry recognition for my 30+ years of sustained service to SPE in multiple capacities and countries. I have served local SPE sections in Canada, US, Kuwait, Indonesia, and Nigeria, including chairperson and program chairperson for the SPE Edmonton section. I have also served as principal editor of Heavy Oil Recovery reprint series, as an SPE distinguished lecturer, and as a member in various SPE conference program and other SPE committees. I also received the distinction of becoming a peer apart after having reviewed 100 papers over 15 years. Additionally, I have been an SPE mentor since 2009 for 33 SPE members to date from around the world. Thank you.
You truly are a global contributor to the profession of petroleum engineering, and so proud of your contribution and your achievements. Congratulations again. Best wishes.
The SPE Award is a two-part process. The recipient is celebrated, but first comes the nominations. In this case, you also heard from Anil's nominator, Anuj Gupta. SPE Awards recognize members who have contributed exceptional service and leadership to the society and the community, as well as those who have made major professional contributions to their technical disciplines. Here is a list of this year's honorary membership recipients. For a complete list of the 2020 recipients, visit spe.org/awards. There you can also learn more about the nomination process. The awards presentations always a great moment at ATCE. Then on the technical side, this year's presentations transitions to virtual. Among the technical sessions at ATCE, SPE also welcomed in key discussions in special sessions. One of those brought together an impressive list of CEOs and VPs to discuss navigating sustainability and the energy transition. Chairing that session is a friend of the SPE Live, someone who has helped curate guests for our program, Gaurav Agrawal. Welcome to SPE Live. What were your big takeaways from that session?
It was a lot of fun doing our ADC special session on the 28th. I think last year when we did our membership survey, it was very clear that for the first time, climate sustainability and the entire topic of sustainability was voted as number one ahead of digital. We had done a small session in ADC Calgary that played out fairly well, but this time the ADC really gave us a much bigger opportunity to put it as a full format. But it goes beyond us. As I was reflecting, just to see the strong support that we got from CEOs, CTOs, as well as the technical breadth, I think it was obvious to then think about that the mission of sustainability, the time is right for that. The SPE brand is the right place for us to have these conversations in a respectful, safe environment. And the format of ADC this time, the virtual format, allowed a lot more participation without the commitment of the travels, which always is a tricky thing. So those three things of the mission, timeliness of the mission, the brand, and the format of ADC really came together to give us this opportunity.
Now, a reminder that all ATCE sessions and presentations are available on demand for 90 days following the event. So if you missed this one and missed others, there's still time to watch over the next few weeks. Please check it out on atce.org.
I think this is the most exciting time to actually enter the industry. It's when you have the greatest challenges, they have the greatest opportunities. And I find that this is what makes it fun. I mean, this is what's exciting about when you have people telling you that you can't do it, that's when it gets interesting. And that's when people say, you can't use oil because oil has too much carbon. I say, no, we can take the carbon out and we can use our skills and our advantage, by the way, of our subsurface resources to store that carbon. That's where we use all that knowledge that we have with our petroleum engineers and our reservoir engineers to find out how to economically displace the fluids below with CO2 itself, and therefore have a win-win. And that's what I think is so exciting. We have young engineers joining us now that are doing things that nobody would have thought could be done.
We've been waiting, dreaming, looking forward to when we meet again. We've also been preparing, getting ready, knowing the time to see each other comes closer with every rising sun. We promise to welcome you with open doors, to make your journey extraordinary, and your well-being our priority. We said we needed a moment, and it will only be a moment more. Dubai, Darna, home. We will see you soon.
What an amazing thing to look forward to, ATCE 2021 in Dubai. Now, ATCE 2020 virtual conference wrapped up yesterday. A big thank you to those who participated in this year's event for making it such a phenomenal success and all that technical content and other learnings. Really made it a fantastic virtual event. Learn more about that ATCE virtual event at atce.org. Thank you, SPE Foundation, also for your support for the SPE Live program. We have exciting discussions coming your way next week and the week after. We have the CEO of Technip FMC joining us. Plus, we'll be talking with Actinum, how you can leverage AI to elevate efficiencies of advanced rig scheduling, and a great technical chat ahead for the upcoming Artificial Lift Conference. So until next time, until next week, I'm Niels Korkson. Have a great weekend, everybody. And thanks for joining us today. Thanks. Look forward to seeing you next week.